look, there's another lock for you there. Be all right.
It means I don't have to stand here talking to you. Yes.
See if you can get one of your other muscles working. We might do it twice as fast then.
You and your passive aggressiveness.
Perhaps we should rename the channel Dickhead and Vagina Face. I bet that'd get some subscribers. Morning, start of a new day. Quick bit of a engine oil check. That's great. Yeah, water's good in the header tank there, if that's what it's called. Let's check the fan belt. That's not bad. Just a visual check. And we're good to go. So we're just leaving Coven, I think is the closest place to this. This is the Anchor pub at Coven, just outside Wolverhampton, just to the north of Wolverhampton. And so it was a big day yesterday. Cruised for 10 hours yesterday. I didn't really want to do that. But it needed to be done. The forecast's not great for today. So I just thought, try and make an early start. It's just gone 7:30. There's already a few boats gone past me anyway, so I'm not that early. But I'm about 2 hours away from my first lock, which I think is Compton. By then, Mrs. L will be up, I think. I mean, she's sitting there now. She's looking beautiful. She's got coffee, because a beautiful husband's just made that. So she'll be happy, she'll be full of beans all the time she rises. Hello, gorgeous. She sounds more like Olive off on the buses. Morning, Arthur. So I don't think I'm going to do a great deal of filming today. I quite like the Narrows, the Autherley Narrows, that's quite nice. We're going through the Bratch, that's always nice. We're going through Botterham Staircase locks, that's always nice. So there'll be a bit of that, but other than that, there might be a load of stuff on the bow that I can put music to. That'll be lovely for you all. Catch you later. So this is us just approaching now the Narrows, the Autherley Narrows. It's a really narrow cutting for probably a good half a mile, maybe a little bit more. I've been through this about 5 times so far since we've had the boat, and I've never met a boat coming the other way. So one of these days it's going to happen. There are a couple of little cutouts in there, but I don't know how you ever, don't know. I'm sure there has to be a lot of reversing goes on in here. See if we can get through. I'll try and hold this speed if I can. It's certainly where you find out what your rubbing strips are all about. That's a passing point right there. remember where that is. It's the first time I've worn a hoodie or anything over and above a t-shirt for about the last 4 weeks. Definitely a change today. There at the moment, where my finger is. I'll get excited when Mrs. L hands me the tray, because I know that breakfast will be following shortly. And as you know, partial to a bit of breakfast. Unfortunately, my doctor has picked up on the fact that I'm partial to a bit of breakfast. So I'm glad he doesn't come boating with us. The bridge I can see in the distance, I think, is the end of the Narrows. And I can see a boat the other side of that bridge. Whether he's spotted me and is waiting, or whether he's actually moored, I don't know at this point. Some stuff across the canal there. I'm assuming it's just a bed of weed and stuff. It's hard to tell because it's in a very shadowy section. It's right across the cut. I'll back off for that. What is it? Can you have a look out of the bow doors and see what that is in the canal? Is it a tree or is it just debris? It is a tree.
You want me to prod it?
Do you want to use a pole?
Yeah. If you can slow right down, please.
I'm pretty sure someone's come through before me, so it might have just twisted.
Hang on.
Well, that's not ideal, is it? Do you want to hand that pole to me? Where have you gone?
Sorry, you're cooking bacon.
You want to hunt? Go on, Mrs. Sol.
I don't know whether it's
No, if you, no, I won't be able to pull it out. It's too heavy.
Okay.
But if you pass me the pole, I can push it.
Okay.
Push this end of it. Well, there you go. Thank you, Mrs. L. Got it? It's the beauty of it being narrow, you just jump on and off your boat. It's a big old piece, that is. Give CRT a ring about that, and I'll have to come and fetch it out. It's too heavy for anyone to get that out. It's quite a substantial piece of tree, really. Well, those Narrows proved eventful, didn't they? Didn't expect that. I've still got through without another boat coming the other way. Just seen my first kingfisher flying away from me. There's the obligatory heron. Got a mate who lives out this way, somewhere close to here. Chris Wolverhampton, and Jan, his wife, and several dogs. So yeah, me and Chris appeared in a musical called Ain't No Angels a few years ago. A good few years ago now, but that was good. Played Sinatra in that. Chris was playing the part of like an angel character, and Sinatra was dead, so I was playing it in.
Black cat under the chair.
Pardon?
Little black cat under the chair.
Hello, black cat under the chair. Psst, psst. Hello. I was interrupted very rudely by Mrs. L. The show was about, so Sinatra died, and he was in the waiting room to decide whether to go to heaven or hell, up or down. The other person that had died was Al Jolson. And Al Jolson had died several years earlier, but he'd been waiting in this room. Well, Al Jolson and Frank Sinatra hated each other in true life. They were two massive egos, couldn't even stand to be in the same town, let alone the same room. And so the writer had devised this musical, which was really good, where both the characters are forced to be together, and depending on how they got on would depend on whether they were going up or down. And so the angel character that Chris was playing was the catalyst, I guess, for Sinatra and Jolson to tell their individual stories and reflect back on the bad things they'd done and the different women that they'd, sort of cast aside in their narcissistic sort of way of living. But it was great. It was really good. There were a couple of females in the cast as well, and they were playing all the wives, lovers, mothers, whatever's within that as well. So it was a really fast-paced show. All the best songs that Sinatra sings, all the best songs that Jolson sings. It was really lovely. The writer since died. Ken Ragg was the writer, and he died just last year. So I guess the musical dies with him. I don't know. I'm not sure it will. There was talk of it going to London at one point, and it did get quite a bit of interest. I'm not sure where that fell then. Something contractually happened, I think. So I don't know. And on Ken's death, I don't know whether that means that's that. I mean, I'm getting too old now to play that part again, but I would love to have played that down in London. But it's nice to know I was the first person ever to play that part in that show. And we played it we did it in Stoke-on-Trent, we did it at the Lichfield Garrick, we did it at Sutton Coldfield Town Hall. Yeah, it's fab. Now, I think that might have been an otter. I don't know. It was black, wasn't it? It was dark. Well, mink aren't dark. And it was bigger than a weasel or a stoat. It looked like an otter to me. I don't know. So just approaching Autherley Junction now. This is where the Shropshire Union Canal joins onto the Staff's Worcester. The original plan was to turn right here and go up the Shropshire, up to Llangollen, but not to be, not this time. If you're coming along this section, from the Narrows to kind of here, I must have seen 6 or 7 shopping trolleys, you know, near to the towpath side. So stay down the centre channel, guys. Oh, it's cold. Not used to this. We're going to Stourport eventually. So the Staffordshire Worcester Canal has a very good, consistent water level in comparison to many other canals, and that's mainly down to what's coming in here from the right. Where you see the bridge hole there is an inflow from a water treatment works. I suppose some might call it a sewage works, but the water always goes incredibly clear here, and there's also lots of fresh weed too. And I especially enjoy the variety of bridges and the reflections that they give along this section of the canal. Here we are at Aldersley Junction. So that's the Wolverhampton 21 going off there to the left. Takes you up to the level, atop the Wolverhampton level, and then it's the run into Birmingham from there. You got 3 locks, I think, that go down at Tipton, but then all the way into Birmingham after that. It's a big flight. That one. There used to be a beautiful house here. I don't remember, it's before my time, but a lot of people still talk about how beautiful the house was that used to be on the corner. And all of this bridge and stuff here is very widely recognised. So that's Aldersley Junction. That tree apparently caused quite a few problems for a few days, and there was a lot of abuse, I think, thrown in the direction of the CRT guys that were trying to cut it up and stuff. If you've got an issue with the CRT, you've got an issue with the organisation, the corporate body, the administration side of it. You haven't got an issue with the people who try and come out and get things going for us again. Because these are the people who are trying to do something about the problem. Well, they can't do anything about the long-term issue, the governmental issue, the administration. They can't deal with that. So leave them alone. And I also hear of the abuse that some of the lock volunteers get. What's the matter with people? These people give up their time and come and do stuff. All right, they might be a little bit quirky at times. They might not be boaters, but they're there as volunteers. Who in their right mind is going to have a go at a volunteer? Do you know what I mean? If you don't want their help, you just say to them, it's all right, mate, I've got this. Have a sit down. Honestly, because they're starting to struggle to get volunteers, because volunteers are saying to other people, oh, you get a lot of stick off the boaters and stuff. That's never right. Leave the people alone who are trying to do something about making our life easier. You got a problem with CRT, write to head office, write to the CEO, whatever it is, not the guy with the chainsaw. So we just sat it out for about an hour and a half. The weather just got a bit rubbish, and we were at the top of the Bratch, so we thought, well, we'll wait for the weather to pass. It now seems okay. I don't hold out much hope in the long term, but it's certainly brighter and the crowd's a bit more broken than it had been earlier, so hopefully we'll get a couple of hours now and we can try and get somewhere, and then I think once we moor up next time, that will be us done for the day. But this is the Bratch. I once did a vlog solely about this place. Got the drone up and stuff like that, so I'll put the link at the top for you to have a look at that if you didn't see that first time round. And that tells you a lot more about the Bratch and its history and how it works and stuff. So it's quite rare that there's nobody here. It certainly looks the case at the moment. So to work it out for myself, first thing to do here is to just go and see who's already in there, if anybody, and make sure that nobody's trying to come up while we're trying to go down. It's one way to turn. Okay, so we need some water into here. So first thing I have to do is I have to fill this lock. So before I open these red paddles, I need to go down to this next lock and lift the blue paddles. Blue, there. So this water is now emptying into there, but obviously it can't empty into there because that's full. So it's actually shooting off through here, and it goes into the pound over there. So that's the pound. So this is why this is called two separate locks, because it's actually got a pound. That is the pound. That is the pound there, and that's the extension of the pound. So that blue paddle is what's allowing that water to come through here instead of flooding over there. Once all this is equalised, I open this blue gate, and then I'll go and open that red gate. This is what's classed as the top gate of the middle lock. And what you can see the other side of the bridge is the bottom gate of the top lock. Close the top lock, bottom gates, come down and close the middle lock, top gates, and now we'll go and have a look at go and have a look at what the situation is into the next lock. So the water is coming from that side pound now to fill this lock. So it's rushing back in through here, coming back in through here. Obviously Mrs. L sat up there, so there's still a lot full there. Here's the side pound. And there's another side pound, the other side of that hedge. Right, and the final one's quite simple. You're just going to empty this bottom lock now into the canal below. Simples! So yeah, it's a magnificent bit of engineering, that is. 3 separate locks, it's not a staircase lock. But all 3 drop you a long way with those clever little pounds on the side. And it is a long way down there. Bye, Bratch. Always a pleasure. Where's she gone? Look at all this old stuff. Look at this. For the crew, brilliant. So here we are. Botterham Staircase lock. Mrs L's gone to make sure that the lower lock is empty. We're obviously sat in the top lock. We empty all the water out of this, and this fills up the bottom lock, and we travel straight in. So it's a little bit different from the Bratch. This is a staircase lock. The Bratch was 3 separate locks with 2 little pounds in the middle. You all right? She's back. So as you know, I don't do a lot of begging. I don't fill my films up with lots of click here, subscribe here. I don't ask for buying me a coffee or Patreon or anything like that. And maybe that's half the problem, but the channel just isn't growing. It's taken me 5 years and I still haven't hit 5,000 subscribers. Now, I'm not being ungrateful, because I think, you know, that's quite good. But I see other people come into this and, you know, accelerate on the subscribers, and I think, oh, wish I could get that to grow. I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm just not great with social media. So maybe I'm not making the other things work for me, the Instagram, and yeah, I just paste stuff to Facebook, and that's kind of that. I don't do a lot of the collaborations and stuff with other YouTubers. Maybe that's it. I don't know, but I seem to get, you know, if I look at the last 10 films I've done, I get about 1,500 to 2,000 views. And again, not being ungrateful, that's great. But I go back a year and a lot of my stuff was more around like the 8,000, 10,000. I had one at 17,000. It makes a real difference, I think, to how I feel, I suppose. A lot of work goes into the creation and the editing and all that. So I guess just makes you feel a bit better when you see the fruits of your labour recognised by more people, I suppose. Sounding a bit vain now. I don't mean to be. Sounding a bit needy. Don't mean to be. But it just, I don't quite know what it is. I don't know what it is that's causing that lack of growth. Don't know. Maybe somebody can tell me what I'm doing wrong. So you see on the staircase lock, the gates that Mrs L is currently opening, so they're the bottom gate of this chamber, but they are also the top gate of the next chamber. So those gates are very, very tall. So on this lock, it's very deep, and the next chamber is also very deep. So by the time you're going down in the next chamber, looking back up at the top doors, the top gates, is always quite a scary, ominous sight. That's useful. There's another boater coming up, so Mrs L's got an assistant. I know you haven't got a microphone on, but I have. Did you enjoy doing a lock? It's the first one you've done for about 6 months.
You and your passive aggressiveness. I didn't actually, it was hard work.
Was it? Oh. Lots of trees down at the moment, aren't there? Just little bits, like it's not like full trees, it's like the bits have cracked off them.
That tree cracked yesterday.
It did. We were just travelling along, minding our own business. Went to the side of us, went crack. We heard this crack. We both covered our heads and looked to the side to see a tree falling away from us into the other trees, and it then just got trapped within the other trees. You think, wow, that was nearly our day. Our time was nearly up. That had cracked this way.
We'd have got out.
No, I'm telling you, them trees aren't light.
Sorry, I forgot we were being dramatic with the camera.
Yes, it's a vlog, do you know what I mean? You got to make sure that...
My God, did I hear you moaning?
No, not be moaning.
I want the 5,000 subscribers.
Yeah, I was being needy. I was being needy.
It's the same thing.
No, it's different.
No. What am I doing wrong?
Yeah, it was that. But it wasn't quite as dramatic as that. I hate you sometimes. If you were a bloke, I'd call you a dickhead.
Bloke, you'd punch my lights
But
out.
as you're a woman, I'm just going to call you a vagina.
Vagina head.
Vagina face. Perhaps we should rename the channel Dickhead and Vagina Face. I bet that'd get some subscribers.
What's that thing you do with your hand? You do know. The thing that when you do something and you twist it, it looks like a vagina.
This vlog's just taken a turn, hasn't it? Right, listen, I'm not talking about that sort of thing because Barbara in America watches all our stuff. She's a lovely lady of a certain age and she's very respectful and very nice. She's not going to be wanting to listen to you talking about making vaginas with your hands. Yes, Barbara. Shout out to Barbara because Barbara comments on every single one of our vlogs.
Thank you, Barbara.
She's always positive. She sounds
A lovely lady.
really lovely, yeah, lovely, yes, indeed.
Can we invite her to come and stay with us?
Yes, of
Does
course
she want
we
to come to the UK?
Barbara, if you want to come to the UK, you're welcome to come and stay with us.
Because you're so nice.
You'd love the Crown at Armitage. And they'd love you.
To be fair, we take you to a nicer place.
Oh, look, there's another lock for you there. Be all right.
It means I don't have to stand here talking to you. Yes.
See if you can get one of your other muscles working. We might do it twice as fast then. Well, that was a long day. It was a cold day. It was a wet day. Considering the weather we'd had previous to that, and indeed since that, it was about the last bad day I can remember. But yes, we moored up after Greensforge Lock and went and had a couple of really well-deserved pints at the Navigation. What a lovely pub that was. Catch you next time. Bye.